Hey guys, for those of you who don't know, I am currently streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2:30 Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/nastylol. So click on the link in the description and go follow me over there on Twitch so you can know every single time that I'm going live. What's going on, Nasty Nation? It's Nasty, and in today's video, I'm going to be playing some Brand support as a way to show you guys just how strong he currently is in the meta. If there's another champion that you would like to see me play, be sure to comment down below and let me know what champion it is that you want to see me play and do a full game commentary for. Also, up on your screen right now should be a picture of the runes that I'm running during this game. But with that being said, let's jump into the game. Alright, so we're actually going to start things off pretty early, getting spicy really early on into the game. So even though Brand isn't really the type of support that likes to do a level 1 bush cheese, our jungler is starting in the top side, so there's no other really reason for us to be elsewhere. Gonna wait as long as possible. That's unfortunate. So whenever you're doing a cheese like this, what you want to be doing is waiting until the very last second for them to walk into the bush, so that you can get that element of surprise. Unfortunately, my Tristana was not on the same page. She auto-tagged a little bit early, which is why my W missed. I wanted to keep my W in the bush, but, you know, Tristana let it go a little bit too early. Pulled the gun a little bit too early, pulled the trigger, rather. Not the worst thing in the world, though. We did zone them off. They're a few CS behind, in experience as well. Gonna hit this level 2 power spike. We're not in a position where our wave is, where we can really take control of it and use it to abusive, but we will be able to zone them off a little bit. I'm gonna start using as many of my abilities as possible to poke them down. I wanted to wait for that shield to run out, though. There we go. Whenever you're playing a support that has the ability to poke like Brand, you want to be using your abilities pretty often, and anytime that you're sitting at around 70% mana or above, that's usually a good sign that you're not using your abilities enough. So if I'm ever sitting comfortably with this much mana, then I definitely want to be using something. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're using them at the right time. So for example, I'm going to wait for this guy to go for the last hit on this and try to hit him. He did tumble away from it, so that's why he was able to dodge it. That is the best timing for me to be doing it. Hitting level 3 now, so this is going to be Brand's biggest power spike during the lane phase. Unlike some supports like Blitzcrank or Thresh, as I'm dropping a ward. Blitzcrank and Thresh, champions like that, they hit their power spike at level 2. Brand, on the other hand, is going to hit it at level 3 because he can't actually proc his passive until he has 3 abilities. So that's going to add a lot more damage once you are level 3. Tristana's in a bit of a weird spot. Let's see if we can help her out real quick. Gotta wait for her to tumble. Okay. Oh, she's just barely? Nice. Okay, so there we go. I should have, waited a little bit longer for Vayne to tumble before I threw my Q, which made that a little bit closer than it should have. But nonetheless, in a 4v2, we got the first blood, so that's a pretty clean play. We're going to stick around because this is a large wave. Even though we are really low, this would be really tragic if we had to sacrifice this wave. So I'm going to stick around just to make sure that my ADC can catch up on this wave. I don't want to leave him alone because then he can easily get dove. I'm going to pop a potion just in case. Okay, so Syndra's going to back off. It looks like I'm just going to hang around a little bit longer to make sure that my ADC gets this wave. It looks like he will. We're going to head back to base, get a pretty good back going. Got the Frostfang. Always nice when you can get that first back. Also going to grab a Ruby Crystal, and we're going to head out. Pretty solid start to the game, though. So we're in a bit of an odd situation for sure. Anytime your ADC is not in lane, there's no really good reason for the support to be in lane either. Because although CS and experience are valuable things to acquire in the game as a whole, for the support, it's not all that important. So I don't want to be wasting my time getting that when I could be doing something else on the map. At the same time, though, considering their mid laner is not in lane, there wasn't really any point in me going mid lane. So I'm kind of just roaming around a little bit. Luckily, my ADC is returning to lane, so we can start abusing this lane a little bit more. Let's take a look at the items. We have a pickaxe to a coal for the ADCs. And I also have a Ruby Crystal above the Lulu. So not only are we, looking in a good spot, we're also in a favorable lane matchup but we also have some pretty good items. Do need to play this patiently, though. With all those factors being put together, even though we are in a favorable position right now, we need to make sure that we're not forcing too hard and throwing our lead. Gonna just have to wait, because if we force too hard like this... Okay, so that looks like it's going to turn out in our favor. Unluckily, Sejuani's going to live with 1 HP. 1 for 1's not too bad. But that was the main problem there, was just the fact that we were being a little bit too aggressive. Even when you do have leads, you want to make sure that you're still being smart and making the right decisions as far as when the best time to go in is. Typically, after a play like that, you can expect your ADC to push in the wave and then recall. For some reason, he didn't. So I guess I could return bot lane. Mid lane is looking a little too shoved, so roaming isn't going to get too much accomplished. Just floating back and forth right now, looking for the best place for me to be. Gonna hang out here a little bit longer. Syndra's out of mana, so this could potentially result in something good. Alright, not gonna get in range for the E there, gonna back off. At least we're gonna zone her off a little bit though. Gonna return bot lane. Tristana's getting into a little bit of a pickle. She just have 2 levels up on the enemy ADC. Tristana might die here, but hopefully I can get the counter kill. And I will. Okay, so pretty nice there. I was trying my best to play around the Vayne tumbles, which is going to be the hardest part about this matchup, Brand into Vayne. But my first stun I was able to land because her tumble was already off cooldown. That time I was able to use it because she was up against the wall. And when it comes to throwing skill shots, or at least dodging skill shots, you always want to make sure that you're not against the wall. Because if you're up against the wall, it's a lot easier for somebody to hit you because the direction in which you dodge is very limited. You know, when you're up against the wall, you can either walk straight or you can go this way. Whereas if you're not by a wall, you can go straight, you can go left, you can go right. So that's why staying away from the wall is going to be the best option. And that was a mistake that Vayne made right there, and a mistake that I was able to capitalize on. So I've already mentioned how one of Brand's biggest power spikes, if not the biggest power spike, is going to be that level 3. Level 6, though, as it is for most champions, is also going to be really, really strong for Brand. And a big reason that Brand support is even a thing, you know, Brand, when he first was established as a champion, he was a mid laner. And what kind of pushed him towards the support role... Hold on. We got some stuff going on. I'm going to try to hold on to my flasher as long as possible. Let's see if we can bait this out. Alright, I thought my Sindra was coming in, which is why I tried to continue to fight that. A 1 for nothing is not too shabby, though. Getting back to what I was saying, though, the reason that Brand has kind of established as a support now is because it makes a lot more sense, right? Because his ult is now going to be able to bounce between champion to champion, rather than in the mid lane when you use it on an enemy. It's going to be bouncing from champions to minions, which means that you're doing a lot less damage to champions as a whole. Considering that his ult does prioritize champions anyways, it's going to make a lot more sense in the bot lane. Let's see if we can sneak into the bush right there. We can't. Not the biggest deal. We still have my ult up in 10. Tristana's looking to play aggressive, but I want to be patient and wait for the right opportunity. Just going to zone them off for now. Not force too much. Don't want to just take some damage. My ult is back up, so now I can look to play a little bit more aggressive. Also need to keep in mind that Vayne does still have that tumble that I need to be calculating. Got a pretty low tower, so let's see if we can start sieging this down. If I can poke them down, that would also be really helpful. Another good way to poke down enemies, aside from just landing your W and your Q, and I'll see if I can do it right here, is if you do it on the backline minions. Unfortunately, I'm going to kill the minions off there. But if you land your W on the backline minions, and it doesn't hit the ADC, you can then just use your E. You can then just use your E as a way to poke. Because it will then spread to the champions from the minions. Right there, again, Vayne just used her tumble, which opens her up very vulnerable for me to stun her. It's a very large cooldown to play around whenever you're playing a champion that is very skill shot reliant. So that is something to keep in mind, not only when playing Brand, but anytime you're playing up against a champion like Vayne, who has such an important cooldown. Another good example would be someone like Thresh or Blitzcrank. As soon as they use their hook, that's a cooldown that you want to be aggressive when it's on cooldown and play around that cooldown. Same concept with Vayne's Tumble. As soon as she does use that ability, I'm going to look to go aggressive because that's my chance to use my skill shots. There she used her tumble backwards. Pretty smart on her end because I think she would have died if she tumbled into us. Pretty good plays all around. We're going to back. We're going to pick up some Sork boots. And we're going to start pressuring elsewhere on the map. So we're in a really good position to snowball this game right now through the bot lane. Me and Tristana combined are 6-2. The enemy team, the enemy bot lane is 2-7 combined. So definitely in a really favorable position. Let's see if I can predict the backstep. No, he's just going to keep running forward. I think that even if I did land that, though, we probably wouldn't have killed him. But like I was saying, we're in a favorable position to snowball this game, so we need to continue to use our lead as much as possible, which is why we're going to roam up into the top lane and start pushing down this tower while we have Singed down in the bot lane. So now that the bot lane is down, I think the best place for me and Tristana to apply our pressure is going to be in the mid lane. Tristana's still top at the moment, but hopefully she'll come down. In the meantime, I'm going to make sure that I get some good vision around the area. We already have some wards, but I'm going to double up because those are running out soon. Nice little Q flash, cheeky play there to pick up the kill on the Syndra. I might die in the process. And it's actually looking very likely. 1-for-1 is definitely not bad, though. Even though I am playing Brand, I'm still a support after all. So anytime I can trade a kill for kill with a mid laner as a support, I'll take that any day of the week. So the title of this video is going to be something along the lines of how to carry as Brand. This is something that you guys already know, but at the time of recording this, that is not something that I have figured out quite yet. And although I have showed some things, some ways to carry as Brand throughout the lane phase, I've showed a lot of the ways that he is able to be such a lane bully and be so strong. Where it really kicks in for Brand is going to be the mid to late game. And I do have this Liandry's finish, so this is the time of the game where I'm really going to kick things into gear and start being an absolute terror in these team fights. So I'm going to look to group with my team. I'm going to look to get these team fights going, and hopefully I can truly display how to carry as Brand and why it is that he is so strong currently in the meta. So we got the Rift Herald down, sieging this tower. I'm going to stick in the back because we don't have a front line, so I'm very easy to be dove on from this Sejuani. Just going to play it slow, play it steady. We should get this tower fairly soon. This is going to be a really good team fight for me. Hopefully Garen doesn't one-shot me. And he does. That was a pretty good team fight, though. Got them all clumped up, got a lot of bounces on my R there. Put out quite a bit of damage. I think if our whole team was here and we had a front line, and if Garen wasn't currently so strong, that would have been a lot better looking, but still a pretty good team fight nonetheless. So as we saw in that last fight, Garen was able to run right at me and kill me pretty easily. So the thing is even though I would consider Brand a really strong pick right now, what makes him so weak, or not like super weak, but lower in the tier list, is the fact that he is very immobile, and he's really easy to get killed by these dive-heavy compositions, by these really threatening frontliners. Someone like Garen, even though you don't see Garen often, that is a good example. So that is going to be the biggest reason why he's not as good as he possibly could be. My next item in the build path, as you'll probably see, is going to be Rylai's. That will help me with peeling myself and kiting these frontliners. But until then, it's going to be really, really difficult for me to stay alive in these team fights. And if I am able to stay alive, at least then I'll be able to put out a lot more damage. Okay, so we got a little bit of a fight right there onto Garen. He has a Crucible to keep him alive. These guys are fairly clumped up. Might be a decent time to ult. Don't see this being a fight that we can win, but I will be able to get out a lot of damage and potentially turn it in our favor. Did a decent amount of damage there. They're all fairly low, but my team is not playing all that great. I'm gonna have to seriously put my carry pants on in order to win this game. Vayne did flash there, so that is some good news. She'll be a lot easier to kill in the next fight. This fight is still not over, though. Gonna need some more magic pen for sure. That might get me a kill there. That's awesome. Once again, showing just another factor why Brand is so good in team fights. His damage is really unexpected. A lot of AoE, a lot of burns being spread like that, which ended up getting Sejuani killed. Hopefully we can pull this game out, because this would be a solid example of how to carry as Brand. Even though my team is in a really unfavorable position, we can really turn this game around as Brand. If there's ever a good game to be playing Brand, it's definitely this one. Alright, so another team fight breaking out. Time to shine as Brand. Gonna make sure that Garen gets the R bounce off on him before I actually go on there. If I had queued Garen too early, he wouldn't have been stunned, because I threw my R at Sejuani, so I need to wait there to make sure that it was Brand that was hit by the stun. Not a bad team fight pickup for us, even though I wasn't a huge part of it. I did get my ult off, got a lot of damage off, and this is going to be our potential comeback into this game. A Baron pickup would be really, really good. They have a TP coming in, that'll be Garen. I don't think he has flash. Let's see if I can land my stun, disengage. We got the Baron, so I don't think we need to fight anymore. Need to make sure that when we are fighting, it's over something valuable. Oh, maybe they can get that pickup. That'll be really, really nice. Also worth mentioning, as they do get the kill on Garen. I said that I was going to go Rylai's, but, you know, even though there are ideal build paths, sometimes you need to mix things up depending on the game. And I have had a lot of trouble tearing through the magic resist of Garen and Sejuani, which is why we're going to mix things up this time. So even though Rylai's very favorable item, highly prioritized on Garen, or on Brand, we're going to be going the Void Staff instead. Let's see if we can get down here and join in on this. I don't think they're going to need me. They should get this inhib. We'll back out and start pressuring another lane. But really in a good position, even more now so, that I have this Void Staff completed and we have Baron to really start terrorizing these team fights. So another little mechanic that I should probably mention about Brand is, although the most common combo is going to be E then Q then W, you can actually Q and then E and get the stun off like that. Gives them a lot less reaction time. Somewhat difficult to do, so it's not going to be ideal in every situation. But a mechanic that I really wanted to point out because it can be very, very impactful, even though we didn't really get an opportunity to use it this game, at least yet. Another fight breaking out. They got to pick onto Sejuani. Let's see if we can join in on this. Anytime my ult is up, I will be looking to team fight. Gonna hold on to my Q until now. There we go. There's no point in throwing skill shots that are so very important, like Brand's Q. You know, there's no reason to rush these abilities. You just need to hold on to them until there's a good opening to use it. Right there, I waited till Garen was distracted, till he was all turned around, and then we were able to land the stun. This is not game yet because they do have 3 up, but we are threatening to end this game for sure. I'm just gonna stay in the back. Never mind. Looks like we will end it. Gonna do a Q flash there. Alright, solid. Solid comeback, and overall a solid game. A good display of why Brand is so currently strong, or why Brand is so strong currently in League of Legends, in the meta that we have you know, established recently with the changes in 8.4, making mages a little bit stronger in the game. I hope you guys did go on to enjoy this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. As always though, I will see you guys next time. Peace.